Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Embracing the Journey, featuring your host, Joshua King. And today we are going back to Drakensang Online for a little bit. I'm taking a break from Magic Arena. As much as fun as it is to beat people with Boros aggro and Esper control, I thought I've been able to get Drakensang to work a lot better on the laptop and the internet connection. Here on the Black Dragon Gaming couch. The good news is I've got an apartment that I'm going to be moving into really soon, and it's got Google Fiber, so I'm going to be playing a lot of Drakensang Online. And in fact, I'm going to start streaming on Twitch, hopefully, and you guys can watch me play and chat with me while I'm playing, which is great for a game like Drakensang, where a lot of the players aren't from the United States, and so the language barrier and such. Great players, and I love to interact with those players, and I've learned a little bit of Portuguese and a little bit more Spanish, in order to converse, and at the same time I'd love to talk to all of you at Black Dragon Gaming while I'm playing. So here's Atemlied. I also have Ritterlied, Zaberlied, and Zwergenlied. This one means Wind Song, Night Song, Spell Song, and Dwarf Song in German, respectively. Pretty close translation, anyway. And here we go with Atemlied. Level 55 is the max cap, and I'm still climbing there, slowly but surely. The game does take the game is an oldie but a goodie. I've loved it for years, but got back into it a few months ago and loved it ever since. We're going to collect some things, our daily logins, our daily goals that we have here. Defeat some worthy monsters. Defeat some champion monsters. I don't really do PvP that much, so I usually don't even bother with those. And then if we decide to spend our healthy stash of Endermant there, Endermant being the currency you can pay for, we got some rewards we can get. I do like Glyphs of Power. Actually, no. I'd rather have a gem. You have to spend quite a bit, though, to get those two rewards. I could get that Splintered Onyx pretty easily. But yeah, Endermant is the currency you pay for sure. And here's a couple players here that you can see. I actually have my own guild on here now. I don't, and I'm all by myself on it. I used to be in a guild called Brazil. As you can guess, most of the players were from Brazil. Unfortunately, it was just one of those things where the communication, the language barrier was a little much. So we're going to try to play this and hopefully not disconnect. If we do disconnect, that'll probably be the end of me playing it on here, at least for this session. But we'll see how long we can last, basically. The goal here is to get to that question mark without dying. I'm at level 55 is the level cap, so we're still 8 levels away from it. Usually, basically, we summon a tree folk and then start bashing. As I go, for those who didn't watch the first video or need a refresher, I'll go over basically what my strategy is after I lower the sound on here. I thought I'd lowered it enough, but apparently not. So, mainly the sound effects line. There we go. Just enough so you can hear it, but not enough that it dominates. There we go, that's perfect. So, the strat here is basically every time you see those enemies go green, that means I'm hitting them for double damage. Whenever I finish off an enemy doing that, I get some health back. So that's why I'm not afraid to throw a ranger in the melee, because I basically kill and heal, kill and heal, kill and heal. These Phoenix summoners have to go down because they're what's bringing their minions back. So the other skills just complement it. So, for example, I could summon that Tree Folk again for a certain period of time. There we go. I can throw a bird out to stun an enemy. I can throw a net out to stun a bunch of enemies and mark them to deal double damage. Will do right there. It's really easy against these guys right now, but there's enemies in this level that can one-shot you. You just have to know what the attack is and who they are, and there you go. Summon one. That want to get them killed, and they run away. So it can be a little bit of a slog, basically. If you've ever played Diablo 2 or 3 and you've faced witches that love to summon their minions back, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. Got through them all. And you see 62 enemies. There we go. Quest is over. And there we go. Sometimes if you don't load the game 100%, like there's a certain threshold that you can start the game at, but it doesn't fully download everything. Because there's a certain threshold it'll still let you play. But sometimes if you don't let it download the whole thing, it will freeze the quests. Essentially, the game's trying to load something that isn't downloaded onto it yet, and it can't just all of a sudden do it. And so it locks it up. But in that case, that pause there was thankfully getting a little bit of luck on that. I did forget to let it download all the way. That's something I typically do just to make sure that the quest doesn't freeze the game, because that is, besides, making sure that I can keep a connection, it's pain in the butt. Just killing them, taking them out. I could be utilizing my skills a lot more, but it's not a case where I really have to, so it probably would save a little bit of time now. They say the game's being a little jumpy, probably connection-wise. And as you also see, I leveled my wisdom bar. That is the second bar here. Think of the wisdom bar like in Diablo 3 with the Paragon levels. Wisdom very much acts like Paragon levels, as you'll see here in just a second. As soon as I select defeat 300 worthy monsters, I generally do only that, and I generally do only that. They're just the easiest. You basically just pound a bunch of monsters and turn them into bonus stuff. So as you see, here you go. It's basically like Paragon. You're buffing certain things. I want to get attack as high as possible. And so we sink 2 points into that. 3 talent points equals 1 point on something like this. As you see, my attack speed is maxed out here. And some point I will put, as soon as I get done putting 50 points in attack, I'll put 24 points in the weapon damage. Although, let's see. I'm trying to see. It's 2 points. I actually might be better off just doing one-handed weapons. I want to check that real quick. This would be a good learning thing for me. So we're going to, thankfully in this game, resetting your points doesn't penalize you very much. This is actually a really good point to do it. So let's see, 1561, 1714 is where I'm at right now. So we're going to use that as a frame of reference. I might actually be able to keep both windows up too. Not what I wanted to do. Okay. So we're going to reset this one. You basically have to pay silver, and as you can see, we got plenty. So now we're going to see where it is. 1368 to 1502. So see, that was a big jump down. So now we're going to see what happens whenever we buff the other skill. and it's going to get buffed to 17 points, I think. That's a 42% weapon damage, but does it have an effect on my weapon? Yes, it does, because my weapon, let's see in the inventory, is one-handed. It's a main hand longbow, but then I also get an offhand quiver, so it counts as a one-handed weapon. A bow that counts as a one-handed weapon, there's there. And 1640 to 1832, I will double check it one time. Or actually, I'll do that later. Because I've got this recorded, so I can just literally look it over and see if it made a difference. But I think my attack actually just got better. That's very important. I hit a little bit harder. But that was something I always wondered about, and I figured, hey, how about I just show it off on camera and let you guys see it too, and we'll learn together, little tidbits and tricks to min-maxing your character. Yeah, so, and not only that, it's the one that, the good thing too is the one that will get complete, but it'll get maxed out before the other one will. That extra 100 points of damage can really be a difference maker. And yeah, I know. Use all your skills. Especially when you get those guys. Right. Let's have the tree folk deal with them while I smash those summoners. Quit running. And I'll show you in a second. One thing I can do to deal with them that I haven't been doing yet is I can hit tab here. And suddenly now I shoot long range shots. And then tap back for the stabby knife. So now this is one where you really want to combine it with the net. So now when I have them netted and they're green like that, now I can, health's going down. Well, it's knocking my health down. Probably just the enemies. That's the one thing about that when I use the longbow is, as you saw, if I'm not stabbing them, I'm not gaining life back. So there's just, especially in PvP, there's certain situations that you gotta know when it's safe to do that and when you just need to keep to the game plan of stab, heal, stab, heal. But I've certainly being able to kill from long range and keep them from summoning things. Although I think it's just inevitable they're going to be able to summon things, and it's just better strat just to kill them. Although here's a situation where it's really good to fire. And then, there we go. Okay. There we go. Kill some more. Try some more. Purple bow. Purple bow is anything that's purple I'll pick up because you can turn them into glyphs of power. The glyphs of power allow you to upgrade your current equipment a level. Allows you to level up your individual equipment. Basically, so that way your equipment never gets outclassed, and that's really important when it comes to things that are unique. I love Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, but at the same time, having to basically pick up the same item, same unique over and over again because it doesn't sync to your level after you level up. So let's say you get a really nice axe at level 30, you get to level 70, well your axe doesn't go to level 70 with you, it just stays as a low level, and you have to hope you get lucky enough to pick up that same axe again at level 70. Well, this game solves that problem. You can level up your uniques, and here's the boss that can one-shot kill you, and I'll show you exactly how it does it. It puts a sphere down, and it summons a sword, and that sword is an instant kill. That said, you get plenty of time to know it's coming, so unless you just decide you're not going to deal with it, Also, you can use the net and the birds to stun it. So there it is again. We just stay out of its range, net it again, and now that once I run out of concentration, which is that pool on the right, we go to our stab. The other thing besides healing you, stabbing enemies and killing them also restores your concentration, as you probably saw watching this. So bosses are really when you want to start switching those tactics. It's that thing is an instant kill if you don't deal with it. If you don't stay out of the way of that sphere. And we were at low life, so now we'll stab heal. And we drill through the enemies to mark them. Very much like in Diablo 2 and 3, the Barbarian does Whirlwind. It's very similar. Also, when we put one of the uniques of our armor that we have, our armor set that we have, allows us, anytime we pick up an health orb, we deal lightning damage. So here we go. They put the spheres down and we got out of the way of them. Lost some life, but we're going to get tree folk summoned. Tree folk heals us also. Tree folk deals a lot of damage and also heals. There's its sphere, we get out of the way. We're going to basically run around for a second until we get our net up. Oh, and I actually wanted my bolt at that. That's one mistake that you'll see me make a lot, is I think I've got the precision bolt up and really I have stabby and vice versa. There we go. Yeah. So I'm not the greatest player in the world. There's definitely people on here that in PvP have informed me time and time again physically that I'm not the greatest player in the world at this. It's just a heck of a lot of fun. I enjoy this game a lot. You can probably tell that. But, yeah. What I think will be real enjoyable for all of you that are watching later on, the more videos I make of this, is whenever I play the other classes, because I have those, as you saw at the beginning of the video, those are just at level 7. I literally got them through the introductory chapter and then stopped. In the game, they get the benefit of, if you have a character that's higher level than them, their experience gain is ramped up. So they will level up faster than Atemlied leveled up. But it'll be nice for you guys to see the progression of a character from the early game to this point. Again, I'm not level 55 yet, but I'm still high level, and I have most of the skills I'm going to have till the end of the game. I have most of those right now. And at this point, you're basically just adding on. And I might want to heal, or at least set up to heal at this point. There's another spherical. He drops 2 of them, and usually they're close together, though. He also does that big attack, but it usually is not lethal for me unless I'm already have lost some health. So you fired him, but it wasn't in the location where I was at. So now, yeah, and that's exactly how we want to do that with the tab button. Drop the net, switch, fire the bolts, and go. And I know I got my knife back because I switched back immediately. And we picked up some wisdom. It's going to be a long time before we get that leveled up again. But then again, so is that. So my main goal right now is to get through, as far as to get through all the worlds and unlock them. Then a lot of my gameplay is going to be going through harder difficulties of some of the earlier levels, which you saw me doing in the first one of the videos I did for this. Basically went through the painful difficulty of some earlier worlds. It's a big goal to get through all the worlds, get them unlocked, because it just lets you go wherever you want instead of being restricted. And I just killed everything in the level, so now I can grab the flame from the altar. The yellow exclamation point here indicates it is a mainline quest. Um, so I have to go to the Twilight Downs in order to complete this, so we're going to hit P and warp out. Warp back to town. We'll use the town portal to go where we want to go, which is the Twilight Downs. And again, I'm super happy and surprised and all that the game is running as smoothly as it is, which makes me think that it isn't the internet connection here at Black Dragon Gaming headquarters that was the problem so much as Drakensang Online not being as optimal as it should be. That's one of the things with Drakensang Online being a game that's based in Europe and most of the players are from South and Central America is that being here in North America, the bandwidth and connection stuff has to stretch a little farther. I think is how that works. I'm not a technician when it comes to this stuff. But it has to travel a little longer, so the connection's a little bit more fragile. And I think what Drakensang did is realized, hey, we do actually have a lot of players in North America. We ought to power up that connection, make sure they can stay connected too. So, and there we go. Flame delivered. I'll show you in a second. I've already delivered another type of flame to this land. Ooh, and it opened up a new world for me. So there is the water one. And over here is the ice one. So you had to get the flames for the flame for fire, the flame for ice, the flame for water, which I know is a contradiction of terms, but that's just what it is. And it unlocks that new world. So I actually picked a pretty good time for you all to see that, because now you get to see this new area of the game the same time I do. And hey, we have a player that's shooting things for us. I'm going to say thank you. Not in guild chat. I'm going to say thank you in regular chat. And now we will go to this new world. Ha! And they laughed. I'm going to tell them, I'm streaming right now. Say hello. Yeah. See, sometimes you... Yeah. Thank you. That's right. Alright. So I'm heading into Agathon's Alliance Hall. And it's saying greetings from the Caribbean. Yeah. So yeah, this game is very international. There's a lot Oh, and this is a boss fight. Okay. So right now, see, my skills are disabled. This is basically, if you ever played Fallout New Vegas, the big empty DLC, you know that when you go to talk to the talking robots, that you can't attack them at all. Same idea. It basically is an area that's a safe area for you to basically prepare yourself. So, seeing it's a boss, and I've never fought it before, and seeing that when you fight a boss successfully, it usually means you get to unlock an entire new zone. I'm going to go grab the most powerful essence that I have right now, which is 117 purples. Fiery red is the highest one that I have that I can get, but I don't have it right now. Also, I just opened the chest, cracked open a gem, so to buff my armor value. So yeah, we will put that in something. Sort it up. Go here. Unfortunately, I cannot put any damage or crit hit gems because they are full. And they are full of the most powerful gems. Those 22 damage, that's the highest tier gem you can get for damage. And I'm pretty close on this one too. So they're in my inventory because basically I don't have enough of them to combine them into a higher tier one yet. frankly, I have the hand in it that I could. I just don't. I'm not. Whether I decide to burn it or not is the question. Um, if I burn it, if I go back to town to burn it, then I gotta restart this. So, I'm going to try this out. So let me equip my best one, and then I'm going to equip my next best one, which is 10,000 blues, and we're going to hit X to switch those around. So when I run out of the purple ones, which I will, I'll be able to at least have the blues available. Now, I have no idea how to fight this boss. So this is basically going to be, ooh, nice. So this is a event buff. I just noticed 50% more group experience when defeating enemies. That's nice. Okay, I have no idea how to fight this thing. Well, let's do it. We're going to figure this out on the fly. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty freaking tough. No interaction there. It could be. It says defeat the Temptress. Yeah, there she goes. Again, no clue in hell how to fight this thing. We're just gonna summon Tree Folk and let Tree Folk take some damage right now until I figure this out. We're doing decent damage. And yeah, you'll know in this game most of the bosses are immune to all types of stun effects. And I imagine that's not gonna be good. Okay, so it looks like those pillars trigger circles of death. So how about we not get hit by them? Uh-oh. We do have potions, but I'm very bad about using them. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, let's heal. I'm not taking those shits. And as the fight drags on, more of them. And they stun, and Tree Folk though. Summon it. And for my dive is basically my get out of jail free card. I was gonna say, please God, don't let her heal. I don't know how to fight this thing. She summons minions. We almost got her. Stab, 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 stab. Yes. Okay, so she's not actually that tough, as long as you, even with those circles. That said, probably because I have such high stats. There are certainly much stronger players in the game but me, but we got there. Oh, right. Okay, so let's go region. First time, no clue how to beat her, but got the job. Alright, so now we go to talk to Istak the Wise and Yaltapedal, so that means we portal out. And we're going to portal not to Yaltapedal, I don't believe. We might be portaling somewhere else. But we have the town portal to get where we need to go. No, we are in Yaltapedal. Alright. So, here we go, question mark. And that should be the end of that line of quests, so we can move on somewhere else. Find the entrance to Yotarul in the Temple City of Knuckleron. I'm butchering those names. I apologize. I'm insensitive. I'm sorry. Anyone who knows the translation or like what those mean and can correct me in the video, please do. I'm not somebody that likes to mispronounce stuff because that those, for all I know, those could be direct words from Incan, Mayan, or Aztec language. And it'd be a learning experience. It'd be like, okay, that's how you pronounce it, and what does it mean? Like, what does the word mean? And learning experience. Absolutely. And we got those red, those orangey are side quests. So I actually have quite a bit of side quests saved up. You can only have 10 at a time there, and I just had room for all of them. So there's plenty of other side quests in the game. Now, the one thing about all those is, though, a couple of them I can't complete. Drakensang maybe doesn't have them finished, and because like whatever the guidance that you could click on to basically help you get to complete those quests isn't there, and the actual items you need to pick up or whatever it is aren't there either. So it's unfortunately I can't complete those. It's what it is. So let's see. Twilight Downs, Natural Lagoon is right there, and then we go for after that. So I basically need to get to Twilight Downs and then go from there. There's going to be an exit in Twilight Downs to get me to that area. And all of this, when I get there, all of this is going to be things I haven't seen before. And there's another quest, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to take it because we're already at 10. That said, that quest will always be available, so I can always take it another time. And hey, what you gotta say? Natural Lagoon, let's do this. Let's do this. This is all new, so you're seeing it for the first time just like I'm seeing it. And again, we have, well, that question mark means it's a quest we can turn in. So, good, we can free up space for that quest we had to leave behind. Because you can only have 10, no more. No more than 10 side quests at one time. And you'd think I'd just delete the quests that I can't finish because Drakensang hasn't put the things in place to finish them, but then I'd have to go through the pain of trying to find them again, and I'd rather just have them sit there till it's ready. Oh, and we got more Andermangic creatures. Thankfully, I've got heal stabs. 4 days. Oh, but that might not be enough. Oh. Okay, we died. Thankfully, as a deluxe member, I can resurrect in the same area for free. So, that's good. But we're probably going to stay away from the big, giant purple zone of death. That's probably a thing we ought to do. And, yeah, okay. So just like those bosses before in the fire area, that circle is stabby sword death. It's just a poison or andromant sword rather than a fire sword. Same idea. And you'd think I would have knew that since they do look similar, but yeah. It happens. You sleep on it sometimes. A protector of death is what that enemy is called, and I don't like it at all. It's painful. It takes most of my health away. It hurts. And its circles of death are not going to hit me again. I will not allow it. Let's fire a few of those and get out of the way and let our tree folk recharge. Tree folk up, snitch on me, hit them, bash them, heal my health, because this guy is nasty. He did not take a shower today. And I am hypocrite because I need to do that myself here after this video is over, and I will, because I am an adult. I know how to do the adulting thing. And there we go. Protector of Death is down and out. I grab a chest. I'll take care of the little minions that are left over. Stab, heal them. Oh, dive out of the way, because apparently there's a second one. It just showed up. It's like, you killed my brother, now I kill you. Alright. Oh no, it's not. It's just a big giant monster that summons dude. It's the same idea. Circle of death. Don't kill the big giant Cthulhu looking thing. And minions. Tree folk will kill the minions for me. There we go. And we pick up the chest, kill the shaman that's summoning dudes, and here we are. And I'm sure I'm completing I'm filling up a side quest at this point. So probably one of those ones we just picked up. It'll let me know when it's done. And there's another one of those protectors of death. And we just gotta be careful because apparently it also has an Andament monster next to it. So the pattern is going to be Andament monster plus protector of death. They're going to team up on me. So basically we let the tree folk kill the minions and heal me while I shoot from distance. And watch out for those circles to fall on the ground so I can get out of their way. That is our strat. Yeah, we want... and you'll notice in this game, the AI for these enemies are actually really good. Like, AI enemies will actively try to get in the way of your range shots. And I appreciate that. I appreciate good AI design. That has... not being able to shoot through the mob because the mob is actively trying to get in the way of your shooting their boss is huge. It's a hugely good strat. It's proper difficulty. It's exactly what you would think minions would do. They just get in the way of you trying to kill their daddy. Your daddy is in the way. You will not kill from range. We will get in the way. So you end up having to basically run away for a minute. I'm going to heal up by killing minions because I'm giving myself time for that tree folk to recharge. Oh. And I took a bunch of damage. I put myself really close to death on that one. But good news about stabbing to heal and tree folk to heal is that it happens really fast. 2 to 3 seconds and you're back up. And that's why the game throws things that can almost instantly kill you because your healing is up there too. And there we go. I think it's very much like Final Fantasy where, yep, you've got all these things that can heal you, but at the same time we've got bosses that can one-hit KO you, KO your party. So, yeah, I love the AI in this game. It does exactly what you'd think it ought to do. To make these fights difficult, just the right way. Now I think we're good though, because he's going to do that, but I'm still getting healed. The tree folk isn't work, and we're going to get out of the way. And okay, so there's another enemy here that slows down. Oh man, I got dead because I got a little cocky. All right. Again, we'll start back at where we were and keep going. And that's the thing. If I didn't have deluxe membership, I would be a lot more careful because the coin cost of resurrecting is real if you don't have a deluxe membership. The game's not necessarily pay to win, but it is pay for convenience. You pay to get yourself back in the fight quicker. Which I guess could be a way that you pay to win. Anyway, we're close now to being able to hit the question, to find the NPC, answer the question mark on the board, and find out exactly what's going on with the story. Alright, who are we talking to? Oh, we're not talking to anybody. We're just picking up Nanami's skull. Okay. And now we have to go back to Yaltapedal and talk to someone. Okay. I'll kill this shrieking fiend real quick, and these mummies coming down, and then we'll go portal out. We got a little bit of a taste of this level, and it was a very deadly taste. Alright. I'm still killing them because just like in Diablo 2 and 3, if you get touched while you're trying to portal out, your portal gets canceled, so I have to make sure the way is clear. And I also like the experience, and I like the drops and stuff. And hey, there's a friend walking by us who's level 55. Players like him are the reason why I don't have PvP turned on. You can turn PvP on in this game. Basically, if you see another fellow player, you can immediately try to attack them. That's why I don't have it turned on, because I would have someone like that would just see me with free lunch stapled to my forehead. It's like, we'll kill the low-level player. But used to, that was not regulated at all. Now, if you do that, Drakensang says, no, that's bad. We will penalize your PvP rank for that. You have to kill, I think it's 3 or 4 levels. If you're killing someone 3 or 4 levels or more below you, they say, no, that's bad. And the lower the level, the higher the level difference, the more the penalty is. To a point where if you're consistently killing people, I think 10 levels or lower below you, that you get suspension. Those of you who are older that played older MMOs, you know the days of just being able to recklessly kill any low levels just for the sake of killing low levels. That's not good. And you can see in the chat there's people speaking Spanish and Portuguese. The community for this game in the Western Hemisphere is very heavy Portuguese and Spanish, which is awesome. Like I said, I've learned a little bit of those languages just chatting with people. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to as well whenever I play on a new computer and all that, is being able to have Google Translate up somewhere and just be able to translate. Although it is slow, trying to translate dialogue is slow. Anybody that's tried to do it while streaming. So ideally, I want to learn a little bit of the language, and I have. In fact, I can tell right here. Missio is a mission. Libera 3. So basically saying, here's a mission that can you join me on? They're saying, yes, I can, I'm free. Anytime you see Doloroso, that's Portuguese for painful. Basically, somebody's about to play a painful difficulty level and they need some help. So, higher difficulties, unless you're like going to a level that's very, very, whose challenge level is very much lower than your current level, you want to bring some friends. In fact, I'll show you real quick, as we're kind of taking a little break from actively fighting the undead and the Aztec evils. Let's kick it over real quick. We're not actually going to go there, but I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Heart of Atlanta. Actually, let's travel to the heart of Atlantis. I think I clicked on something with the city. Well, maybe not. Maybe here we can show you. Shipbuilder. No. Okay. So I'm basically going to places that aren't dungeons. Dungeons are actually have those difficulty gradients where you can go to higher difficulties. I chose ones that weren't that. Okay. Let's go to one that I know is one. Which I showed you before, Temple Sector. There we go. Okay, so when you go to Painful, their damage is 150%, health is 200%, they get an additional ability on at least Guardian Champion or Leaders, which is your blue, which let's say is your green, blue, and purple named enemies, are Guardian Champion and Leader respectively. Sentinel and bosses, your orange and yellow have one additional enchantment and gives an additional ability and increases their damage and health points. But you get twice the experience, and you can find higher tier items and bigger stacks of whatever it drops. also unique items, which you can craft into even better gear. So, like, when I go in against people in PvP and they just whip my butt, it's probably because they crafted, and they went to painful a whole lot more than I have in different levels, and they crafted a lot better gear. Is probably how that happened. Okay, so let's return to Knuckleon, how you pronounce it, and we'll fight some more things. Alright. And we got 3 more question marks up from that. So that's 3 possible, that's tied to a quest. And either something we can click on, or something we're collecting, or someone we're talking to, something like that. Without reading the actual quest itself, I really don't know, but generally I don't worry too much about reading the quest unless I'm basically trying to collect a certain drop, and that drop is not just showing up. Then I might read to see exactly what I'm needing to get and who I have to kill to get it. So there we go. 300 monsters killed. Now we will go to 600, and once we complete the 600, that is the end of that quest line. And we haven't, apparently we haven't killed very many champion or leader monsters, so we need to do that. And we got a lot of scorpions. Scorpions and mummies. So Aztec Vine, Incan Desert, and mummies and scorpions. Like I said, we're about to figure out what it is. So we're collecting more bones. Okay, so apparently Nonami is someone we're trying to bring back to life, maybe? And we're collecting her bones from different appendages. That's what we're doing. I wish I could. This is what I get for not reading the lore. That is something we'll definitely focus on whenever we play a different class that I've just started on. I will take the time out to read the lore out loud and do the story points, because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve to hear that stuff. In fact, those of you watching, if you would like, in the comments to this video when it's posted, if you'd like to vote on whether I should keep playing this character, or I should, next time I make a video, basically play a different class, let me know. And I will honor your choice. I will honor the vote, I promise. I certainly wouldn't mind doing something different. Just know I'm not going to be nearly as good at it, because Ranger in this game is my favorite class. And I should be utilizing more of my skills right now, because this is not fun time. This is not super fun time. This is I could die easily time if I don't dodge the attacks and play correctly, especially with all those minions out. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to decide whether you want to just bolt through them or stab them, but there we go. Once we get them green, we can do things, but at the same time, I'm killing all these minions, but I'm not dealing with what's creating them. I should probably get on that as I die right there. That is not a fun image right there. That is not a fun image at all. That is Bukake, that is adult. I need an adult. Alright. Let's do better next time. Let us kill the thing that's making those things so we don't have to fight those things anymore. Alright. Tree Folk, deal with the noobs. And I will proceed to stab the thing making them. Stab it very hard. Goodbye. Arrivederci, adios. Go back to your master. And now those minions should be less potent. or even if they're around, they should be a little easier to kill. They should not be coming back. And if they are, I'm going to find out what's bringing them back. Because I think those frogs are what's doing it, but I can't say for certain. Alright. Drill through them. There we go. I was out of... Being out of concentration is something that will happen once in a while, and I'm not the best at recognizing when it is and immediately responding. Okay, so we got another one, and I want it done with. We're going to deal with it at long range this time. Yeah, its minions are going to get in the way, because of course, that's what the game is supposed to do. Alright, so we're going to actually dive in here, drill in, buy. Now it's not making minions anymore, now we can thin them out. So that's what we got to do, and you'd think that would be obvious to me, but in the thick of it, sometimes you just want to just stand and bash things. It's like, that's not the best strat. You need to deal with what's creating them. And deal with it very quickly before it overwhelms you. You end up having a rendezvous with being surrounded and things happening to you that are icky and nasty. So here we go. Stabby, stabby, stabby. And do we got somebody making them? Yes, we do. Of course we do. Anytime you see minions apparently on this level, there's somebody making them. We gotta deal with it. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna let Tree Folk handle it, and we're gonna kill them while the Tree Folk damages those minions and heals for me. Keeps me alive. And we're gonna utilize all the tools right now. We gotta do it. And you might be wondering, you see me having a skill at 5 and 6 and 7, and I'm not using them at all. Those are skills I use in PvP. I don't really use them in PvE that much. I just don't have skill points attached to them, so they're literally baseline what they are. No additional cherries on those sundaes, so to speak. The skills you see me using, I have buffed out with additional abilities. So they're my best skills. But when you're in PvP, you literally sometimes throw everything but the kitchen sink and jerk on it. You better throw everything at them. There's no reason not to, because any trick you can pull. And yeah, Tree Folk out, because that's a lot of minions and I need healed. I need to keep the healing going. Yeah, I'm starting to really realize just how many guys those things can make. And yeah, you gotta deal with the boss, the guy making them. So yeah, thankfully he does not take a lot of damage to bring down, and then you can deal with what he's making. Oh. Switch. There we go. Now we can shoot him from distance. At least for a second. Now we'll switch back. There we go. And you see the game is dropping you mystic cubes whenever, every so often. Those are another reward of deluxe membership. And I just usually let them stack up, and then when I'm in town, I'll cash them in. They basically can give me random things like purple gear or gems. Also essence, which right now I need to equip some essence because that ups my damage. It's one of the ways I deal with all these minions, is that I just have more damage, a little buff to my damage. You saw me with it earlier, but that's not good. I was being poisoned. Yeah, that's not good at all. We gotta get a heal going somehow. There we go. See, that's what Tree Folk is for. Not just the damage, but also I can run away from a bad situation, get healed up, and get back in the fight. That's what that's for. You see, I'm not picking up anything that's green or blue because it's not worth it. But Yeah, let me put the essence on. This white essence here that gives me 25% increased damage, I can pay coin for that, which is why I always have some. There's no reason not to have some once you start to have a decent amount of money. We could go to the Chamber of Offerings. I think we will. And we will find the warp point in that area, so that way we have it saved and we can always go there when we want to. And it's one empty area. And it's got lime nasties. Okay. There's no doors. This is a single area and a lime nasties, and that's a lot of damage. We're going to be careful. Let's bring them about. Shamans. Shamans need diodine. We're going to target them and get rid of them so we can then deal with the minions. No, oh no, I want you dead. We're going to bulldoze you. Get over here. You are ugly and I want you dead. Oh, get over here. I want you dead. Eat my falcon. Alright. I hear something. I hear some noise. Ooh, here's some noise. Ooh. Let's just look around. Since now it is all quiet. Okay. I'm pretty sure this is an area that has quests, and I just haven't gotten any of them yet. And I'm literally exploring it just to see what's in it. Nothing too difficult. But again, like the whole rest of the world, you have to deal with whatever's summoning in. Why am I trying to deselect my... Okay, so there was a purpose for being in here. It is probably for a quest that we don't have up. That's a cool thing about this game. You can complete quests without having to have them, like, staring you in the face. As long as it is in your list of quests, you can work on completing them. It's just whatever one's up is one that you can click on each item, and it'll basically guide you to where those things are. They'll give you a little bit of a help. I don't tend to use it unless I get stuck. My pride, I guess. I don't want my hand held. Plus it takes away from the exploration aspect. To just have yourself guided on how to do everything. Yeah, especially whenever you can complete other things while you're completing things. And that reset the enemies too. I just now noted. So yeah, get that shaman. We need you gone. You are making too many dudes, and they're gonna overwhelm me here in a second. So bye. And now we kill you. Get over here. Well, I keep saying get over here, but I'm not dragging them to me. I'm coming to them. It should be I'm coming over here, or something like that. There's another mystery box. Yeah. Yeah. See, the enemies, like I've noted before, are very good about, if you start marking them, they will start impeding you from hitting what you want to hit. You'll have to get through everybody else first. Either that or I just have really bad aim and I won't admit it. There's some more guys. And, yeah, we're going to drill them just to get them marked, but then we're going to get over here and kill the thing. There we go. That's why I prefer the knife too, because no matter how many minions get in the way, they can't stop you from hitting what you want to hit when you use your melee attack. You will hit what you want to hit. Alright. And we need to actually go way up there. So we're going to use a little cheat. A little shortcut. Basically, if you see it on the map, you can pretty much dive to it. It works like jump and teleport in Diablo 2. Sometimes though, like in this situation, it doesn't work. I thought it might work. I had to take a look at it, but it doesn't work because basically there's the structure is so high that you don't have an actual spot on the ground that you can select with your mouse. That's a way the game prevents you from teleporting sometimes. Dive out of the way, get to the monster. Actually, let's get a tree folk summon so we can deal with that. And we will deal with the thing summoning all the things. Alright, kill some more things. Boop, 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 boop. Nickelodeon. Kill. Checking to see is there any hope. There's just kill those two and be done, and I ain't got nothing to summon more things. Okay, good. So we'll move on. Go up here. Oh, there's an EX item. I call it EX because it's extraordinary. Purple item. And this is new territory. We're just exploring right now. I'm sure it's gonna get to that question mark eventually, but as long as I'm not level 55, I have no problem just killing things for the sake of killing things and getting XP. The XP grind to get to level 55 at this point takes so long, even despite all the buffs I have. I've got several right now, which I'll show you. I've got 30% from my pet. I've got 20% from deluxe membership, and 50% group experience. That doesn't work right now because I'm not in the group. And yeah, I probably could join a group, but I've only seen like a couple of people at a time. So I've seen a couple people total, I should say. So it's not that huge a deal. Although group experience is really, there's a whole category just for additional buffs you get for being in a group, and that in itself has its own leveling system and tree. I'll show you real quick. There we go. So like right now, attack speed goes up when I'm in a group by 5%. But I can add other threats as I go on. But it has its own experience bar. When I get to level 55 and being in groups is the dominant thing that will be going on, especially at higher difficulties. For dungeons, I'll basically always try to be in a group. That experience will go way up because I'll really all the time be doing it. Just until I get there to level 55, for me it's more fun to just solo it, get to new areas, get through the story, and be done with it. That way I can do the multiplayer, and just know that the single player getting to the worlds, all of that is done already. I ain't gotta backtrack too much. I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit for side quests if I want to just get all the side quests out of my queue. Right now, that's why I'm focusing on finishing the main story, or at least progressing through the worlds and going through the doors to whatever worlds I can go into. Some of the worlds, like you saw in the first video, some of the worlds, like you saw, have that symbol on the ground where it's a lockpick, and that means that they're tied to quests that you have to complete or items that you have to get before that world becomes available. And early in the game, it doesn't happen at all, but when you get to this point, they definitely there's definitely instances of that. In fact, the first time that you ever have that situation happen is when you're in Atlantis. Okay, we got an enemy that can summon summon those circles on the ground, so let's be careful. And this is called the Protector of Life. Yep. Alright. So, yep. Protector of Death, Protector of Life, Protector of Fire, Protector of Ice, Protector of Water is the 5 protectors that I've encountered so far. And their attack patterns are exactly the same. Just they deal different types of elemental damage. And I'm just looking up there to see what's up there. And now I'm going to look at that door. As soon as I get to it. Like, we're going to kill all the things before we get to it. I'm not going to just run from them. XP, drops, all that's good stuff. We want all that. I think we will check through that door, see what's in that door, explore what's behind it, and then we'll port back to town and we'll call it a video. We'll call it a video session embracing the journey today. This has definitely been a journey. New stuff I haven't seen before, and an entire boss that I hadn't seen before, and thankfully was able to defeat. It wasn't as difficult as the boss before it. The boss of that region with all the mechs and stuff, that was an insane boss. In fact, I would dare say you cannot fight it single-handedly. You have to have a group. And in my case, I did. I had to have at least I had to have 2 people with me. I probably could have done it with just one person with me, but in the particular case, I had 2 people with me to complete that. It's very, very powerful. Very powerful boss. And it looks like we need a key to the Cradle of Life, so yes, this is behind something we need. Which I imagine our guy right here will give us once we've completed enough mainline quests to get to that point. Oh, and he is an ugly cat. Oh, I don't dare click on it and show his face again. It's horrifying. We're going to go this way. We're going to kill the things and then port to town. Oh, man. Okay. Let's port back to town. And that'll be a good time to check to see what quest we actually did complete, because if we get to town and there's question marks, that means we completed something. Let's see. Yes, we got 2 of them. Alright, so let's check up on those, and we'll check our inventory, click through some listed boxes, see what we picked up. Do a little bit of cleanup step, and then we'll call it a video. Alright, so defeat 40 animated creatures in Latlan, which we'll get through that one super quick. It might be just 40 of those big things, or it might be 40 of anything. And okay, so that's when you see an exclamation point with that arrow circle, that means it's repeatable. Generally, when you repeat it, you're doing it for a coin. So yeah, you're gonna. Well, actually, that's XP. How much? 1218. That is microscopic. Yeah. And that's in the Twilight Downs, which is an area we're not in again. Oh, hold on. I saw another question mark. Hold it back. Like that. Okay, so yeah, another quest. But that means that it's a quest we have in our queue, but we haven't completed. So, by the way, note here on the map, that is very cool. Looks like the heads of 2 creatures staring at each other. Kind of like if you've ever seen the deer and doe vehicle stickers. Kind of reminds me of that. Alright, let's do some maintenance on our account. So, 6 boxes to open. So, we got a health gem. So, put that in the final socket on our amulet. And then a bunch of things to turn into glyphs of power so we can level up our stuff. First thing's going to be that bow if we can get enough points. It takes a lot at this point, I should note. I've got 255,000 and I still can't do anything yet. So we see blue. That's part of the reason too why I don't grab purple. Don't grab anything purple stuff, because literally, as you can see, I'll go back to you and see 1140 out of 2 items. But then once you add this, that's 3,400 for 1 item. So yeah, there's no point in grabbing those, especially when your inventory space is limited. Because I'm getting an entire whole section from having deluxe membership. But people that don't have a deluxe membership, they would only be down to that single one without paying a whole bunch of internet for extra space. That again is another. It's pay to win, but it's like not like this huge pay to win thing where it's like duh. It's one of those things that is a little bit of an extra bump, but it pays off over time. Over time becomes a significant difference. Just being able to grab more things. Like all of you that have played Diablo 2 in that limited space, yeah, you understand the power of having more space. So I actually have considered buying some more space with 4,000 internet though. And it only increases it by 7. So no, you're not getting an entire 28 rows for 4,000. You're getting 7 spots for 4,000. And that is, thankfully deluxe membership, you get 28 extra spots. And then of course I also have the locker that I can access at any time, and it has its own deluxe. It's deluxe spot I use for unique items that I want to hold on to even though I don't use them. They're in my collection. They're in my collection of stuff. And then I've got these skeleton keys that I can use to basically fight bosses at higher difficulties. You can fight a boss normally anytime as long as you fought them at least once, but that lets me fight them at painful difficulty, which is very valuable for some of the unique drops you can get from those bosses at higher difficulties. Those unique drops you can get that are very, very powerful, and a few of which you pretty much have to have on your character to be optimized. So, for example, there's a boss that's a vampire. She has a cloak that she can drop. And if you're a level 55 ranger, your goal is to get that drop. It doesn't drop until you're level 55. But once you are, that's pretty much itinerary point number 1 is go fight her 500 times if you have to get that cloak drop. Otherwise, your experience in PvP will not be as good. And there's whole groups that will literally do nothing but go fight her just to increase the chances of getting the drop. The way the drops work in this game is that you're not fighting for drops. Each person's drop is unique to them. So you're not having to basically decide who gets to pick up this item. Everybody has their own unique drops, and so everybody potentially could get a cloak drop at the same time, although I have never heard of that happening. Not in my experience anyway, have I ever been in a group that's done that, or heard of any group that's done that. It's extremely rare chance. But anyway, that is the session for today of Embracing the Journey. Again, let me know in the comments whether you would like me to continue to play Drakensang, or if you would like me to switch back to playing Magic. Eventually, when I get moved into the new place, I'm going to make a schedule, and I will have at least 1 day a week where I play Drakensang, and 1 day a week where I play Arena, or possibly 2 days a week that I play Drakensang, 2 days on Arena. We'll see. I would like to eventually get to the point where I'm able to just stream Drakensang on Twitch, and just that's every day. I've got a chunk of time where I do that, or at least every at least a couple of days a week, and then like 2 or 3 days a week, and then 2 or 3 days a week I stream doing arena, or possibly 2 days arena, 2 days Drakensang, and then 2 days of a game of your choice. Say, because there's plenty of games, especially modern ones, that I have not touched. And wouldn't it be fun if you guys send a request for me to play a game? Give me a game I should try, and I go on Steam and I play it. I have to figure out how I'd be able to play something like Diablo 2 though on here. I thought of playing that too, but when I tried it, OBS Studio wouldn't show me playing it. I think it's because it's not the way it works in a window does not sync well with it. Doesn't surprise me since it's an older game. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.